What's going on, y'all? I want to welcome you back to the Raw Report. And today we want to talk about character. Why is it easier for you to admit you got fired than to admit that you talked to God or that you asked God for help? Why does feeling or saying that you go to church feel more embarrassing to say than telling your boys that you got arrested? Like, it's something real stupid about that or backwards. And this subject comes up because I was looking at something online talking about men are feeling emasculated because of their faith. And I had to look the word up. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was like, emasculated, what does that mean? And it's basically saying that men are they feel like because they have faith or that they go to church, that women see them as soft. And straight off the top, I'm gonna tell y'all out the gate, if you letting a woman make you feel like you soft because you have faith, that's basically you chasing the wrong women. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because I was just at an event maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and ain't nothing but women in there. So I know for a fact they looking for men with faith, but you are basically chasing a worldly woman and trying to say it's emasculating your manhood. You're chasing the wrong women. That's basically where I'm going with that. Because what y'all are mixing a lot of this stuff up is you was taught to be what a real man is self-made and independent. And basically at that point you thinking you accountable to nobody. And that's where the problem comes in at, because when you have faith, you surrendering yourself to God. And you got to trust in something that's bigger than yourself. But y'all are willing to trade that in for a woman who basically has no wherewithal, or don't even want nothing to do with the church, or don't want to have no faith. So in the Bible it say something to this. Why would you, I think it was Samson, married all them people that was going against their faith or their religion. I don't want to say that because I don't know the exact scripture, but I know what I'm saying. Y'all are basically chasing worldly women and letting them emasculate your faith. If you got faith, and it's a whole bunch of faithfully women that's waiting on you, but y'all want to sit over here and cry about how you feeling like you less than, it's not a man because you got faith. That's an excuse if I ain't heard one. Y'all gonna have to stop with all these excuses. At some point you got to man up, because it's not soft because you actually believe in something that's bigger than yourself. Because I can give you all kind of stuff. The skies, the clouds, the stars. Where did they come from? They had to come from something bigger than you. So for you to not put your faith out there because you're chasing a woman, it's ridiculous to me. Or the fact that you won't tell your boys, because nowadays y'all on the group chat, that you went to church or that you prayed. So what? What does one got to do with the other? All jokes aside, like, what do you believe in? What are you standing for? Because 9 times out of 10, the people that you think in your life, or the people that you see that supposed to have it all together, they don't. So for you to say, let you pray about it, regardless of how they think of you or look at you, that means let me get a moment to myself and talk to my creator to see if this the right move for me. If they don't like that, they don't like it. That's on them. That ain't got nothing to do with you. So stop accepting these excuses that social media or some other soft man somewhere is putting out here, and y'all just latching on to it like, yeah, that's it. No, that ain't it. Because your fear is not really with God. Your fear is being judged by these other men. Your fear is being called soft or too religious. Your fear is losing credibility in certain rooms. Them rooms ain't for you then. And let's just be honest, those rooms ain't for you. Or the fear is admitting you need guidance. We all need help. I keep trying to tell y'all. Y'all keep trying to do this stuff on your own. I've been there. I've been in the streets. I tried to do all this stuff on my own, and it gets you nowhere. It gets you nowhere fast, actually. You might have a few good times, a few good moments, and you might actually do a couple things, but at some point that runs out. I promise you, it runs out. Or your fear could be you have to give up your image that you give this sense of you in control and everybody believes it, but it ain't the truth. So it's like a lot of y'all would rather look strong while struggling than to admit that you need God publicly or to your friends or to this circle. Like I'm trying my best to make sense of it, but I just really can't. So that's why I'm speaking on it, because I'm like, I'm floored with this. When I read that, I'm like, how is you having faith killing your manhood? Like, that's making no sense to me. It's like culture done sold y'all on this definition of masculinity. You don't need nobody. You don't need to show no emotions. You need to control everything. Never submit. Take care of it by yourself. And you can put yourself in this isolation, and it's got you secluded. And I had a guest on a couple shows back. I forget who it was. But somebody said that isolation, the same way you thinking you're isolating yourself from other people, all you did was build yourself a self-prison. Because you keeping stuff out, but you definitely ain't letting nothing in either. You ain't thought of it that way. I'm sure you haven't. Well, you need to, because they giving y'all a bunch of wrong information. So that's really why I got the raw report. That's why we here, so we can make sure we cut through all the noise and keep the truth at the center of the point. Because truth is truth, no matter what. It's gonna always be true. And that's what the raw report. We gonna bring the truth here. So I guess my question is, if asking God for help makes you feel less like a man, that's basically because your definition of manhood was built on pride and not character. Because I don't see how can you not ask the Creator for help. Faith doesn't remove your strength. It gives your strength direction. God isn't calling you to be passive and timid, weak, and or easy to control, silent. But that's what all of those things are when you're talking about having faith is emasculating your manhood. So not having faith makes you tougher? Is that what you're saying? Because I'm trying. Somebody go out to explain this thing to me, y'all, because I'm not buying it. It's not doing nothing. And the woman that you basically chasing that making you feel like that, she don't want you, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you, 100%. She don't want you. It's just not it's not. You're basically changing who you are to be with somebody who, whatever she chasing, it ain't you if she's basically making you feel soft because you got faith. God is calling you to be disciplined, courageous, responsible, spiritually grounded, humble. And none of those things says weak. So I don't know where y'all are getting this stuff from or getting this information from. But I'm telling y'all, there's so much misinformation out here they're lying to you guys. 1 Corinthians 16 and 13. Be watchful. stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. I'm gonna say that again. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, and be strong. Like, where did anything in there, where did you get weak from that? So, I don't have nothing to prove, so I'm not even gonna go there, but my point is, you can't tell me the fact that I got faith is making me seem weak, because I can care less what y'all think, but I'm telling you off top, they're lying to you. God isn't asking you to pick between being strong and your belief. They come as one. They come together. Surrendering to God does not mean losing your manhood. It means letting go of the need to prove to other people that you're something more than what God made you to be. You're not becoming less of a man by submitting to God. You actually, if you ask me, you're letting him teach you how to become a man. Because I'm just thinking when Jesus wrapped a towel around his waist and washed feet. Jesus also walked in the temple, flipped tables when something was wrong. So what are we saying here? He submitted to the Father, served people. Nobody else was served. And he stood up for under more pressure than any of us will ever face. So how was any of that salt? Service and surrender is not the opposite of strength. It's actually proof that you are strong. You're stronger because you're willing to serve other people. Like I said, with Jesus washing feet. But when it came time to flip some tables, he flipped those too. He was about that life. But y'all be misconstruing these words. Somebody out here is literally playing on y'all mind to make y'all think that you're less than when you're more than enough. Because when you hide your faith to protect your image, it actually costs you. It costs you. You basically stop leading your family with spiritual direction because you stop developing one for yourself. You suffer in silence instead of getting the help that you need, because we all need help. I tell y'all that all the time. You start to make your decisions out of pride instead of being of wisdom, because admitting you don't know is like, it's like you can't do it. I don't understand how you don't know what you don't know. So why you can't admit that? I'm just saying. Or you avoid accountability because accountability requires you to be seen. Your family gets a version of you that nobody asked for, actually. Because you're not guiding nobody. You're too busy protecting the image that you want everybody to see you as. So, a man that protects his image in public while losing himself in private, that's crazy to me. Like, wouldn't you rather build yourself in private and not care what other people think, in opposed to making this whole image about what they think you this, and that, and then when you go home, you break apart? That makes no sense. Some of y'all have been performing way too long like you strong, and y'all don't even know the difference between confidence and performance anymore. You basically got to the point where you walking the walk, you talking the talk, but you lost. Behind closed doors, you're anxious. You lost. You don't know what to believe. You don't know who to believe, and you're too scared to say anything out loud because your whole identity is basically built on you don't need nobody. That's not manhood, y'all. So stop letting these whatever. Like I said, I barely know how to say the word. emasculated. Stop letting these people tell you that having faith is emasculating your manhood. That's not a manhood problem. That's an identity problem. You don't know who you are. Because your performance, that the performance you give when you don't need an audience, that's what you're going for. Because you're the same person no matter what. I know the person that y'all are hiding from other people is tired. I know he is. So I'm just gonna challenge you this week, like I said. Who taught you that having faith makes a man weak? Whoever taught you that, stop listening to them, delete them, get off that podcast, get off that show, stop listening to this goofy stuff. Because it's not true. Why are you more worried about what men are saying than what God is telling you or what God is guiding you to be? Why are you worried about what they're saying? Why are you hiding your faith? Why? Because when you hide it, you can't live it. Another question I want you to ask yourself: is your masculinity built on character, or is your masculinity built on appearance and performance? And then one more question I just want you to sit with. What part of your life are you still too afraid to surrender to God? And that's something you don't got to do that publicly. You can do that in your own room, just you and God. But stop letting these people lie to you. That's basically all I'm saying. Y'all got to stop letting these people lie to you, because they're I don't know what's in it for them for lying to you, but y'all got to stop picking it up, because they lying and then they making y'all feel some type of way like you're not a man because you got faith. I ain't going for that one. I'm telling y'all now, I'm not going for it, and I'm here for it any day of the week. I debate anybody on that, because you ain't tell, there's no way you gonna tell me I'm less than a man because I got faith. I wear my faith proud, all on my sleeve. It is what it is. Because God is not trying to make you smaller. He just wants you to remove the pride and the fear or the insecurity of the performance that's keeping you from being the man he intended for you to be. Real strength is not living like you don't need nobody. Real strength is actually knowing exactly who you need and why you need him, which is God, and having the courage to follow him. That's strength, because it's not easy. I tell people all the time, it's harder to do right than it is to do wrong. But don't nobody want to talk about that side of it. So, like I said, when you get some time this week, find a moment where you're not hitting on all cylinders, and pray about it. Let the folks know, yeah, you're going to church, because you don't have it figured out. I'm not saying church go help you figure it out. I'm just saying don't be afraid to wear your faith on your sleeve, even if you don't go to church. If you just praying on your own, if you watching it on YouTube, I don't care how you doing it, but don't let nobody talk you out of your faith. That's ridiculous. Your surrender is something that basically you're carrying alone, and that's between you and God. That's between you and God. So figure that thing out. But start showing up who you are. Start showing up as who you actually are, not who you scared other people would think you are not. Don't worry about that. Your life is not about what other people think or don't think. Your life is about what God put you here to do, whatever that is. Whatever that is. So, all I'm saying is, have the courage to follow what God put on your heart, regardless to what other people on the outside are saying or thinking or doing. Sometimes you got to go against the pack to find your pack. But that's my word for y'all today, man. I had to talk on that because I had never even heard of the word emasculate. I was like, what is that? But hopefully I was able to help and bless somebody today. But y'all know what I like to say. Stay real, stay raw, stay grounded in your faith, and walk boldly in your purpose. Till the next time, y'all, I'm out.